Good evening, world. Simon the Mirror. Hope you guys enjoyed my show I made earlier today. Yeah. Are you really tempted to that Pro Hockey League? Okay, I'm gonna let you guys know. If I'm king when I'm 50, I might actually start that pro. I might just be a pro hockey player instead of doing movies. If I'm king when I'm 50. But I might perhaps even start that Pro Hockey League. But chances are I'm gonna end up starting a movie studio with VJ, obviously. That's my dream. Because the pro hockey thing is risky, man. What if I'm not good? What if I can't keep up with these, like, the best hockey players in the world? Say you probably can't man, you'll be able to keep up with the best players in the world, Ivan. You have the genes. Yeah, I know, guys, but what if I'm not good, guys? It's risky, right? Yes, I know I have like pretty much unlimited potential because of the genes. But what if I can't peak at those guys' level? All the star players in the league, I can't keep up with those guys. It's risky, obviously. That's Sarah. Risky. Yeah. Is being a pro hockey player your second choice, Ivan? Yeah. Movie star is number one, and a close second is being a pro hockey player. I'd rather be a pro hockey player than do music and be an author and do sound comment. I'd rather be a pro hockey player than do all that, obviously. But it's risky. What if I'm not good? Because the board of guards will tell me, yeah, man, if you want to start your pro hockey league, you have to be a star player, Ivan. You want this league to really make money. If you're not a star player, the league will generate maybe $30 billion in revenue. If you're not a star player, Ivan, you'll be lucky to get like 22. My league will probably do like NFL money, the SHL. Still a lot of money, but I'm not making that much money. I'm not making that much profit. If I invest $13 billion in the league and the league does $12 billion in revenue, I'll be losing money. Yeah. Because $20 billion after taxes is like $12 billion. So I broke even. If I have to put money back into the league, I would lose money. That's why the board of guards are telling me, yeah, if you want this league to thrive and make tens of billions, like 50, 60, 70 billion, you have to be the face of the league with the other star players, and you have to be a star player. But what if I'm not good, guys? It's risky, right? Yeah, that's my point, right? Yeah, it's risky. What if I'm not good? Yeah. Who are the first people you have to hire first? If I did a pro hockey league, the first people I have to hire is the board of governors. Like, I don't know, like a 12 team board of governors around there. Pay them like their $8 million salary and give them raises per season. Those are the first people you have to hire because those are the people who are running your league and they're gonna walk me through everything I have to do. Yeah, you gotta build. You want 25 teams, 13 teams in Canada, 12 teams in the States. You have to build your arenas. The arenas alone will cost me billions. $200 million salary cap per team will cost me billions. The chartered team flights will cost me like almost $1 billion, like $700 million. You also have the coaches' salaries, president salaries, GM salaries, equipment manager salaries, stat keeper salaries, press team salaries, play-by-play guy salaries, color commentator salaries, sport anchor salaries. It's crazy. People working at the food concession stands for the games, you have to get paid too. Obviously, you have a lot of costs. Yeah. 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 Sorry, for the league to make money. Yeah, for the league to make money, like a lot of money, I have to be the face of the league, obviously, with the other star players. That's how the league generates a lot of money from an SHL Pro Hockey League. Yeah, you got to be a star player. You got to hire the best hockey trainers to train you for like 2-3 years, because it'll take a good maybe 1, 2, 3 years to build all that to start the league. A 3 year process maybe, and during that time, you got to train Ivan. You want to keep up with these players. Best hockey players in the world, right? But I have the genes, man. If I train, I'll be an amazing player. I should be an amazing player. That's why Sidney Crosby, Carmen David, Austin Matthews, and Ovechkin. Nah, man, don't do that, man. If you do that, you're gonna crush us, man. You miss out on opportunity. Yeah, because those guys are all like hitting retirement age. Austin Matthews and McDavid are younger than Sidney Crosby and Ovechkin, all those guys, but they're pushing like the halfway point of their career. They're pushing that 30 age mark, and after 30, you're kind of you're no longer in your prime. Obviously, they have maybe 10, 11 years left on in the league. Those guys, 12 years left in the league. McDavid and Austin Matthews, all those guys, right? And McKinnon, all those guys, right? Oh, McKinnon is younger than McDavid. He has maybe another 16, 15 years left in the league. But if I'm king in a good like 10 years from now, all these guys will be retired. Or like at the end of their career, right? Their sport career, right? So slave those guys. Don't hate me, guys. I'm saying, yeah. Yo, man, don't do that, man. If you do that, you're gonna crush us, man. You miss on opportunity. Yeah, they did. They missed on the opportunity. Making all that money and being world famous. Yeah, we may be legends, but we're legends in the fucking gatekeepers NHL. And we would have made way more money working for Ivan's SHL Pro Hockey League. Yeah. As McDavid and Sidney Crosby would probably negotiate for they probably would negotiate for their 40+ million for my league. 40, 45, even 50 million. McDavid would probably get more money because McDavid has the advantage in talent with speed over Crosby, even though I think they're pretty much equals as a back and forth. McDavid does have the edge over Crosby with his speed. His amazing speed off. You don't hate me, Sidney Crosby. I'm saying, yeah. My point is, both those guys would have gotten their 40+ million deal. Yeah. In my league. But it's too late for those guys. That's why they're all right, don't do that, man. Do that, you're going to crush us. Yeah, you're going to be crushed, those NHL players. They miss our opportunity. Yeah, we're legends in the fucking gatekeepers in the NHL. I wish I could be a legend in Ivan SHL Pro Hockey League right now. It's actually funny. Yeah. 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 What's the only thing those guys can do? The only thing they can do is get a coaching job, sport anchor job, or a GM job, president job in my league. That would be their goal. Okay, I can't play anymore, but it'd be nice for me to coach in this league. Be a legendary coach or maybe a GM. That's their goal, but they have competition. Like, chances are the league will hire guys who have experience over guys who don't have experience. All these hockey players don't have front office experience. They don't have coaching experience. And just because you're a great player doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be a great coach. As Gretzky is the prime example, obviously. Greatest hockey player in NHL history, and he was not that great of a coach, Gretzky, right? There we go. That's how you know it's not what. Yeah. Just because you're a great player doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be a great coach. And they have competition with ex-coaches and GMs who have that experience that these other NHL players don't have, obviously. The league might maybe select one NHL player to have him be a coach, but take a chance on that player. But I mean, they don't have the experience, those guys, right? So it's competition for the jobs, obviously, for my league. My SHL Pro Hockey League, I should say. Yeah. Yeah. I'll have a talk with VJ. Like, VJ, I want to be movie star. That's my first choice. But I kind of also want to be a pro hockey player. Victoria Justice will tell me, all right, whatever choice you make, I'll support you. You want to be a pro hockey player, you can be a pro hockey player. I'll just do my music, Ivan. On the side, that's what VJ will tell me. She'll support me, obviously. She's my baby. Yeah. She'll support me. Yeah, I'll just do music. I'll go world touring for my music. Victoria Justice will have a successful music career, obviously. Going world touring, making her billions and everything. And you can do your pro hockey thing. That's what VJ will tell me, obviously. She'll support me. My first choice is to be a movie star, though. Pro hockey athlete's my second choice. I'm sorry. Yeah. 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 Guy, you want to start that the SHL Pro Hockey League? Yeah, I do. Okay, okay, Ivan. We're gonna walk you through everything. The first thing you got to do is you got to build the arenas. How much teams you want in your league? Okay, I want 25 teams. 25 teams. Yeah, 13 teams in Canada, 12 teams in the States. Okay, Ivan. You have to build arenas. How much money you want to put towards each of the arenas? Put $300 million towards each of the arenas. That way, you build amazing practice facilities for the players, where they can train on ice in the off season, and also an amazing gym. Each facility, each building, I want nice luxury gyms, high tech gyms where the players can train off the ice, and a practice facility where they can train on the ice. I mean, you have the main arena, ice skating rink. Okay, Ivan, and you want like beautiful locker rooms? Yeah, build beautiful locker rooms, all that stuff for all the players for each team. You want an equal amount? Yeah, put an equal amount towards each stadium. That way, there is no discrepancy with the quality or facilities of the teams. Because in all pro sport leagues, there's a discrepancy in quality of some teams. Obviously, some teams are richer than other teams. But I want put an equal amount of money towards each of the arenas for the SHL Pro Hockey League. Do you want your teams to be in like some of the same cities as some of the NHL teams? Yeah. Yeah, but if you do that, you're going to be competing with the NHL. Yeah, guys, fuck the NHL. It's not my problem. Yeah, have teams in the same city as some of these NHL teams. But there's some teams in the SHL that will not. There's some cities in the SHL where the teams are not in the NHL, obviously. Like Hamilton and Regina and Quebec City are not. There is no NHL Quebec City or Hamilton or Regina team, but I will have a Regina, Hamilton, and a Quebec City team. A Montreal team, a Quebec City team, a Halifax team. You have 13 teams in Canada and 12 teams in the States. So the first thing you gotta do is make plans to build the arenas for each of the teams. You have to come up with your team logo and your team name for each of the teams. The Board of Governors have to help me with that, obviously. And you want a $200 million salary cap per team? Yeah, $200 million salary cap for each team. That way the players can make a lot of money and they get paid a lot of money, obviously. Yeah. They're like, holy shit, man, your league will blow the NHL out of the water. I know. Ivan, the NHL has like a $90, $100 million salary cap, Ivan. Your salary cap is double that. Yeah, the players can make more. You can pay the star players more money in my league. I'm going to tell the board of governors, tell the GMs as part of the rule, don't pay a player any more than $35 million. Don't pay a player any more than $35 million to $50 million unless they're generational talent. If they're not, like Connor Davis, Sidney Crosby, Austin Matthews, Ovechkin, if they're not generational talent, then pay those guys under 35 or less. That's enough, man. You don't want those guys draining your cap. And balance out. Tell the GMs to balance out the contract. You pay a player $30 million, pay him $30 million for maybe 2 years. And after that, you bring it down to maybe $24 million. Now you have more room to pay the upcoming draft picks and more players. You bring it down to maybe 20. In the last 2 seasons, they get maybe $17 million. That way, you have more room to pay more upcoming star draft picks and other good players. Good players have to make their 8, 9, 10 million. They have to get paid too. Those guys. That's insane. Why? What's a good player? A good player is a player that like will put up maybe 10 goals a season and 15 goals a season. They're good players, but they're not stars. That's my point, right? They put up maybe 9 goals a season, 14 goals a season, 15 goals a season. They peak at like 15 goals a season. Those are good players. They're good players, but they're not stars. The star players are the ones who put up like their 30 plus goals a season. Good players make less than that. They put up maybe 20 goals, 18 goals, 50 goals, 10 goals a season. Those are good players. And average players are players who put up maybe a few goals, or maybe 4 or 5 goals a year. Those are the average players. They don't make that much money, those guys. Those guys get their $750,000. Minimum salary for my league will be $750,000. They get $750,000, $2 million, $3 million. That's still a good paycheck for an average player. Playing in the league, they get like $3-4 million. They're still making living an amazing life. They're family with that money. That's what most average players make in my league, right? Yeah, holy shit, your league will pull the SHL water. I know it will. Pull the SHL water. Yeah. Ivan, you want chartered flights? Yeah, I want chartered flights for each team. I'll put $35 million towards either chartered flights for each of the SHL teams. In the SHL, I'll do that. That'll cost me like $750 million. Yeah, it's a lot of cost, man. I have to put like $12.5 million of money into the league, man. You have to pay the coaches, the GMs, the presidents, the vice presidents, the assistant coaches, the equipment managers. You have to pay all those guys, man. To get paid. That's not part of the $200 million salary cap. That's separate from that. Yeah. As in pro sport leagues, the coaches and GM salaries is not part of the salary cap. It's excluded from the salary cap. So it works, right? Yeah. 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 The board of guards will tell me, yeah, man, I know we're excited for you to start this pro hockey league, you know what I'm saying? But if you really want this league to make money, man, you got to be a star player. That's the thing, though. What if I'm not a star player? It's risky, man. It's fucking risky. That's why it's risky. Means will tell me, yeah, what if you can't keep up with these guys, Ivan? What if you're not a great player? What if you can't keep up with the best hockey players in the world, Ivan? Means will tell me that, obviously. Well, yeah, Vijay, you got a good point. What if I can't keep up with the best star players in the world? Star hockey athletes in the world. Vijay will tell me, no, Ivan, you'll be a star player. Don't worry about Ivan. Like, you have the genes, man. If you train, you'll be able to be with these guys. These guys don't have the genes that you have. Yeah, they don't have the guys you know. Like, I'm the imprint of God, man. I have the fullness of the God DNA. So if I train, I should be able to be an amazing player. Will I peak at McDavid and Sidney Crosby, Austin Matthews, Ovechkin's level? I highly doubt it. But I should be a star player. Because I have higher potential than all those guys. Sidney Crosby, Armadillo, Ovechkin. I don't mean to be cocky. I got some balls. See, I know. Like, I don't mean to be cocky. You know those guys are amazing players. They don't have the God gene like me. They don't have the gene of God, those guys. I have the God gene, but I highly doubt I'll peak on that level, though. That's, like, the stuff those guys do is not normal, right? It's not normal shit. It's God stuff, right? God-like stuff. Yeah. I want to throw in a joke there. If Sidney Crosby, Connor McDavid, and Austin Matthews and Ovechkin can do God-like stuff, whether or not God, what makes you think God cannot do God-like stuff if he's God? You don't get the joke there, guys? Yeah, that's a good one. I know. It's a joke. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Ivan, man, don't do that, man. If you do that, you're gonna crush us, Ivan. McDavid, Crosby, and Ovechkin. Yeah, Ivan, don't do that, man. If you do that, you're gonna crush us. You missed out on opportunity, Ivan. Yeah, they missed out on the opportunity. They would have made all that money. Yeah, all those tens of millions they would have made. They would have signed mega deals for my league, way more than what they make in the NHL. Crosby peaked at 12 million in the NHL, man, and Ovechkin peaked, I think, at 14 million. McDavid peaked at 13.5 million in the NHL. I think Ovechkin peaked at 17 million, if I'm correct. Yeah. Give me a sec, guys. Someone's calling me. What? Sorry for the long wait, guys. You bought food. Yeah. That's why the SHL will blow the NHL out of the water. Yeah. But movie star is my first choice, guys. Not being a pro hockey player, right? Duh. Alright, what's the big cost of your SHL league? Salary cap, arenas, the chartered flights. Those are like my top three big costs. Whereas everything else is in the hundreds of millions. It's cheaper, a bit cheaper. A few hundred million, right? I have what about coaches' salaries? Coaches' salaries are cheaper. Coaches' salaries will cost me maybe 800 million. GM, president salaries, all stuff is like 800 million, maybe. Rather in cost. 700 million in cost. It's cheaper. Whereas a 200 salary cap per team for the players is like a few $1 billion in cost. Something crazy. Expensive. Yeah. That's what Borg officers told me, yeah, but your league will pull the NHL water. Yeah, well, the NHL water. Come on. So if the NHL athletes will be crushed, oh yeah, they will. I saw that pro hockey that they're going to be crushed, obviously. Because they missed out on the opportunity, right? Yeah. Would have made way more money. They would have been more famous. And the NHL is no longer number one. It's number two. Yeah. Alright, Midget will support you. Well, she will. My dreams with movies are, guys, not being a pro hockey player. That's my second choice. If I did want to have pro hockey league, Victoria Justice would support me. I will see. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man, don't do that, man. If you do that, you're going to crush us. Yeah, the NHL players will be crushed, obviously. The ones who are playing the NHL now, it's too late for those guys, right? They're born in a different generation. Yeah. Yeah, man, like... assuming I'm a star player, Ivan's a fucking star player. He's a star pro athlete. He's more famous than all of us. And he started his own SHL Pro Hockey League better than the fucking NHL. And he's getting paid all that money. Yeah. And the players drafted in that league got to be legends in his league. And they're making way more than what we made in the NHL. That's why they feel like shit, obviously. Yeah. So the board comes and yeah, Ivan, you have to build your arenas, your facilities. You have to put a salary cap towards each team, pay the coaches, GMs, presidents, all those guys, equipment managers, stat keepers, press team for each team. Pay the press guys a good like $1,000 to be a full-time press person for each of the teams. You have the main SHL press. You have to build press conference rooms where you interview the players. It's a lot of work, man. A lot of costs. It's crazy. Oh. It's a lot of work. Yeah. Yeah. Why? If it's not too late for McDavid, nah, it's too late for McDavid. McDavid is pushing 30 now. Turning 30, I think, next year, McDavid. He's turning 30 years old next year. He has another maybe 11, 12 years in the league before he retires. Obviously. Or he could play for my league, but like he'll play for my league for maybe 2 years because he'll be like pushing retirement. He's not as good as he used to be, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's too late for McDavid. And it's obviously too late for Crosby and Ovechkin. Those guys are already pushing like 40. Crosby is turning 39 years old, I think, this year. He has maybe 4 or 5 years after him. He's done after that, Crosby, right? That's why they'll be crushed, obviously. All right, man, don't do that, man. If you do that, you're going to crush us, man. You missed out on that opportunity. They missed out on the opportunity. And they would have made way more money working for Miley than they ever would have made in the NHL, right? Yeah, but Ivan, you gotta be a star player. I know. You want to be featured in magazines, the commercials, and everything. You have to be the face of the league. You have to be a star player, Ivan. That's what the board of governors tell me, obviously. You have to be a star player. That's what they're going to tell me, obviously, right? Yeah. Now, I'm giving star players league revenue. I'm going to tell the league, the board of governors, tell all the GMs that don't go any higher than 10 million for the league. The cap is 20 million, but only go over 10 if for generational talent. If they're not generational talent, don't go any higher than 10 million. Don't these guys duping you, right? You pay a player 4 million, 5 million, 3 million, 7, 8 million, 10 million of the league revenue. That's a good deal for those guys, excluding them on their salary. That's a lot of money for those guys. That's enough money for them. I'm not paying them more. They're not worth more than that. That's some Sarah. Yeah. Would Crosby and McDavid and all of them would want to get a job? Yeah, they probably want to get a job in my league as a coach. Okay, I can't be a legendary player in the league because I'm past my prime, but it would be nice for me to be a legendary coach in the league. Coach in the league, obviously, but it's going to be tough for them to get that job because they're competing with ex-coaches who have experience in the NHL. Those guys don't have coaching experience. But some teams might take a chance on some of the star players who played in the NHL who are legends. But just because you're a great player doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be a great coach, right? As Gretzky is a prime example. Amazing player, put up unbeatable stats that no one can beat pretty much, except for his goals, obviously. And yet he wasn't what? He wasn't that great of a coach, Gretzky, right? Yeah. Yeah. Gretzky put up unbeatable stats, except for his goals. Well, that should beat his goals, but like his total points, no one can beat that. He had like almost 2,000 points. I don't think anyone ever beat that. He was an amazing player. He had unbeatable stats, except for his goals, obviously, and yet he wasn't that great of a coach, Gretzky, right? That's a good example. There you go. Just because you're a great player doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be a great coach. But some teams might take a chance on some of these NHL players when they apply for coaching, head coaching positions. Not head coaching, this is not football. Coaching positions for the hockey teams, right? Yeah, they might apply, obviously. Yeah. Yeah, man. And I can play in the league for like 30 years. Like Gordie Howe. Gordie Howe played in the NHL for 36 years. I can play for 30, 35 years in the league. Whereas no other player can play for that long because they don't have the genes that I have. As I'll be young forever, so I can play for 30, 35 years in the league. And my goal would be to be a legendary player in the league, obviously. Be a legend in the league, obviously. And after I play for 35 years, I'll transition into coaching. Obviously. Being a coach and being a legendary coach, that would be my goal, obviously, after that. Yeah. All right, what about magazines? Only the star players are featured on the magazines. They talk about their success and everything and playing in the SHL, all that stuff. You want Olympic Games, Ivan? Yeah, have Olympic Games like Team Canada versus USA, Switzerland, America, Russia, Sweden, Finland, all that stuff. But don't have all-star skill competition. That's just a waste of time, guys. I'm not going to do that for my league. It's a waste of time. Yeah, it's cool to see what player is the best in the skill competition, but it's a waste of time, guys. I know the NHL does that. I don't want to do that for my league. It's a waste of time. Waste of time and money. That's some Sarah. I'm not going to do that. Yeah. You want all-star competitions? Yeah, you can have all-star competitions. Best teams from each, you have an East-West thing. You can do that, but I mean, yeah, see what happens, obviously. Yeah, that's why the SHL will blow the NHL water. You're all right, man, don't do that, man. You do that, you're going to crush us on it. Yeah, the NHL players are going to be crushed. Yeah. Wyman's a fucking star pro athlete. The fans love him. Yeah, but the question is, what? It's risky, man. What if I'm not good, man, right? Yeah, man, that's the thing, though. What if I can't keep up with these amazing hockey players around the world? What if I can't keep up with them? Yeah, that's the thing, though. Yeah, it's risky. That's how being movie stars my first choice of major, obviously. Yeah. Yeah, if you want sport anchors and all these guys talking about you, you have to be a star player. Otherwise, they're not going to talk about you. Yeah. For me, I can't be a good player. No, I have to be a star player if I really want the league to make a lot of money. I have to be a star franchise player with the other star players in my team and the other star players in the league. Why? What's the difference between a good player and a star player? Good players are players who put up points here and there, but they're not star players. They'll score maybe 10 goals a season, 14 goals a season. They put up maybe 50, 60 points a season. 50 points, 40 points a season. Those are good players. And the average players, they don't put up that much points. They'll score maybe 5 goals a season, 4 goals a season. They have maybe like maybe 30 assists. They're not great players or average players. And the good players are the ones who put up quite a bit of numbers, but they're not putting up like huge numbers. They'll score maybe 10 to maybe 20 goals a season, 15 goals a season. Those are good players. And the star players put up their like 30 plus goals a season, 30, 40, 50, 60 goals a season, and they have like huge stats. Amazing stats, obviously. Those are star players. Each NHL team has a good maybe 3-4 star players on a team around there, right? 3 star players per team around there. And the other players are good players, and you have the average players who don't put up that much points. That's how it works in NHL, right? We have a similar example of my SHL Pro Hockey League. You have the average players, you have the good players, and you have the star players, star franchise players. Got some sound? They're the ones who get the big money, the star players. And the good players also make good money in my league. They'll make like their 8, 9, 10, 7, 12 million in my league too. That's still good money for a good player. And the average pros will make their 750K, 1, 2, 3, 4 million, maybe $4 million in my league, which is a good paycheck for an average player, right? You're still making a lot of money and living an amazing life with your family or your girlfriend. So making sure the average players get paid good money, more than what they make in the NHL. Now, star players in the NHL make like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 million a year. So much they make in the NHL. That's why the SHL will blow the NHL water. Yeah. Got some Sarah. So you'll never sign a player to a $500 million deal in your league. No, before I said, oh, that's crazy. No. You have to tell the board of governors, Ivan, when the GMs pay star players a lot of money, you have to balance out their contract. You can't pay a player $30 million every year for 10 years. A $300 million deal, they're going to drain your cap. You have to balance it out. So you have to create room to pay upcoming draft picks, all that stuff, right? You have to pay those guys. So you have to balance it. First 2 years, the star player gets $30 million or 25. I know. First 2 years, the star player makes $25 million, and after that, you lower it down to maybe 22. So 3 years, the player gets 2 years, the player gets $25 million. You lower it down to 22, then you lower it down to maybe 19, and you lower it down to maybe 16 for the final years. That way, you have more room to pay all the other draft picks and upcoming star players on your team, get traded to your team. You got some saying? So that works. That way you have balance, obviously. So star players in the league will not make $500 contract. No, that's too much. No, you have to balance it out. So if you do have an upcoming generational talent like Carmen Davis and Nick Crosby, you pay the player. You can pay the player $50 million, but only pay him $50 million for maybe 2 years. You got to bring it down. That way you have more room to pay more players. Pay him $50 million for 2 years. And after that, you lower it to maybe $40 million for another 2 years, and you lower it down to maybe 32. You lower it down to maybe 24, and the final season they make 20. That's how you balance out the cap, and you have room to pay more players. You have to do that, guys. You can't pay a player like $50 million every year, $30 million every year for 10 years. You're going to drain the salary cap, guys. You have to create room to pay the other star players. You also have to create room to pay the good players and the average players. You have to create room. You have to be careful. I told you, only pay a player $40 to $50 million if they're generational talent. If they're not generational talent, don't pay them that guy's paid. Don't go any higher than maybe 30 million is enough. Even 35 is too much. Don't go any higher than 30 million for a player, man. You gotta watch out for your cap, man. You don't want to drain your cap. You have other players on the team you have to pay, man. You have to get paid, right? So that works. Sarah. Yeah. 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 Give me a second, guys. I have to shut the oven off. Yeah. Well, the board guys will be shocked. Yeah, they will. They're like, holy shit, Ivan, your league, this is going to beat the NHL, Ivan, I know. Yeah, but Ivan, you got to train, man. You got to be a star player, I know, guys. But Vijay might tell me, Ivan, don't worry about it, man. You have the genes. You train, you'll be a star player, Ivan. Don't worry about it. Vijay will tell me that, obviously. So then Crosby, yeah, Ivan, you got a good point there. You have the genes. You should be able to keep up with the best hockey players in the world. Yeah, but what if I can't, guys? It's risky, right? There you go. Yeah. What if I can't keep up with those guys? That's the question, obviously. The key is training. You have to train hard, Ivan. Off-ice training, on-ice training, right? And the board of guards will tell me, I recommend you play with the best players in the world, Ivan. When in practice, that's how you know how good you are against those guys. That's how you get better as a player. Because these are the best hockey players in the world who are playing in the SHL. I'll be drafting the best players in the world, obviously, competing with the NHL. Best junior players in Canada, best handball players in the States, best players in Europe. They're all drafted in my league. And I'm also going to be grabbing quite a bit of veteran NHL players to work for my league. These are the best hockey players in the world. What if I can't keep up with them? But I have the God gene that they don't have. Those guys don't have the God gene. Even Sidney Crosby. I know Sidney Crosby, Armin David, I know they do godlike stuff. Stuff that I don't even know how the fuck they do that stuff. But even those guys don't have the God gene. They don't have the God gene like me. Those guys are not the imprint of God. I am the imprint of God, man. I have the God gene. They don't have it. I don't hate the guys percent. Yeah. But it doesn't mean I'll peak at their level, though. That's the thing, though. I highly doubt I will. As the stuff they do is unheard of, obviously, right? That's godly stuff. Yeah. Yeah, that's what the SHL will blow the NHL out of the water. Anyways, guys, this is how we're going to show. So I'm saying, peace out, guys. Congratulations, Mount Mayor. Take a shot. Enjoy the show with you guys. Peace out, guys. Don't hate him, son. SHL, bear in the NHL. Don't hit me, guys. I'm saying peace.